Kind of transitioning into some of our work together. What was going on, in your business that made you go, yeah, you know what? I think it's time for me to work with Donnie now.
So I think deep down, I probably knew that I always should be doing it. So I remember when and I've teased you about this. I remember when I first started seeing your videos, like, what was it, 5 or 6 years ago?
Mm-hmm.
And at first I'm like, who is this guy?
Right.
Like, and
I think everybody says that.
Yeah. but I started to get respect. I'm like, this guy is showing up, and so I said that I kind of started, gaining more respect for you. And then I think I saw that you did this post about, is it Chris Auld is the coach?
Yeah.
Okay. And so then I'm like, oh man, he plays football, and so, we started to connect because I learned a little bit more about you personally. And then and that was probably 3 years ago. And then, I started becoming more aware that people were doing a lot more like online promotion and advertising. And I kind of knew that, hey, I need to take a look at this and get more educated. And so I think you and I did we did a call, and, the call went really good. And I was super comfortable with what you were talking about. And then I just got, I didn't pull the trigger. I thought, hey, I'm just going to keep doing it the way that I've always been doing it. And I was having a lot of success.
Right.
Kind of doing it my more traditional way. And then, you would keep making postings, and like every couple of months you would post content where it's almost as if you were speaking directly to me. You talk about like a challenge that, hey, if you're experiencing these challenges, or are you experiencing these challenges, you might want to try this. And I'm like, man, this guy's like speaking directly to me. And, deep down, I knew that I wanted to do some coaching. And, it's like, when you're out on your own, sometimes it's like, your ego gets in the way, and it's like, hey, do I really want to get a coach and be accountable to somebody? And, you come up with all the excuses in the book not to do something. But deep down, I knew that it was probably something that I needed to do.
Mm-hmm.
And then finally, I just kind of got out of my own way. And I'm like, I've been seeing your posts for like 5 years. I'm like, this is the guy that I want to roll with. And so called you up and learned more about the program, and away we went.
Yeah. How do you feel like you've been able to kind of articulate your message better to your clients after going through the program?
As I remember sort of in the beginning of the program, I mean, you get taken through a series of steps to where it really helps you understand what your target market is. And, I kind of thought I knew what my target market was. And then I started going through this, and some of the exercises that you go through and the questions that you have to ask yourself, and then the messaging that you're going to come up with really helps you understand either where you are or where you want to be. And, I think that was huge. The automation piece has been key. I mean, I used to be afraid of automation. I mean, I really prided myself on the high touch, manual, custom message to everybody. And I just didn't know that there was a way to integrate automation where it could still be kind of custom and it can be really tasteful. And that's been huge, because like right now I'm really big on, taking care of the existing customers that I do have. And when you're able to dial up automation, you got like a BD arm going for you, almost a virtual BD arm, the way you want it, and really conveying your message. And so that's something that I wasn't doing before. And, the meetings, the new customers, the candidate relationships that I'm getting out of it. I mean, it's been huge. It's been a game changer. One of the reasons why, I was dragging my feet on, even moving forward, is I knew the content piece was coming. I knew that, hey, you're going to have to put yourself out there. You're going to have to post. You're probably going to end up doing videos. And I was thinking, I mean, you just come up with so many reasons not to do it. And you start coming up with some really, really compelling reasons, like in your head, like that you believe. And really what it comes down to, it's just fear. You just don't want to put yourself out there. You don't want to be uncomfortable. I mean, I've been doing this for a while. I've got a successful company. The idea of being good at something and in your element and in your zone, and then stepping completely outside of your comfort zone, it can be a little bit intimidating, and it's tough to admit that. But once you kind of stare it down in the mirror and you're like, okay, this is what's keeping me from doing this, then it's like, back to that competitive mentality with like,
right,
walking on to play football. It's like, hey, I've done other challenging things before. I can take this step. And so you just get in and roll with it, and you start coming up with content, and you rip the Band-Aid off and you go for it, and you realize, hey, that wasn't so bad. And then you get more comfortable doing it, and then you get to the point where you actually kind of enjoy it.
What were some of the things that, maybe we did together or you did personally to help overcome the fear?
You just got to take that first step, and so a great way to start out is, if you haven't done it, like just do a quick little video on like what you do, like,
Right.
30 seconds, 45 seconds, whatever it is, and just let that thing rip. Just like, hey, hey, wanted to introduce myself. Here's what I do. Reach out if you have these type of needs. And that's a great starting point just to like rip the Band-Aid off and go. When we're in your program, you've got people that are a couple years of experience, 30 years of experience, just all different levels of experience trying the same thing. So you're seeing other people step out of their comfort zone. You're seeing some people that are really, really good at it, and you can kind of climb under their wing and get pointers from them. And so it's really just being open to trying to do it and giving yourself a chance to step out of your comfort zone. And then, you'll realize that it's not that big of a deal. I have people that reach out I mean, people aren't always going to comment on your stuff. You're not going to, like, your customers see it. So, I've been doing this for about 6 months. Everybody that I go meet with in person, they're just like, I love your stuff. And they'll talk about specific posts. And these are some people that don't even like it or engage or comment on it. I even had one situation where, there's a guy out there in the market that, I kind of admire, and he's pretty active with his content. But I remember he posted a story once about just the power of being patient or being patient, and maybe where he made some mistakes where he hadn't been patient before in the past. And I was thinking about it, and I've got a lot of those same experiences, and then I've got a lot of like clients and candidates that I've worked with where I've seen them either do really well by being patient or not patient enough. And so I just made a post one time kind of speaking to that, and it totally resonated with that person. And he reaches out, he's like, hey man, I love the post, and I'd love you to be a part of my conference. And it's like, I've got an opportunity to maybe do some speaking out of that. And I have people that reach out all the time and just mention that they've seen it. So your audience is out there, your clients are seeing this stuff. They may not always publicly comment, but they are, and you get a ton of value out of it. I had somebody reach out a couple of weeks ago that's like, oh yeah, I've been watching your stuff for years now. And I'm like, well, I've been doing it for like 6 months, but they thought it was years just because they've been connecting with it. And I ended up connecting with them, and they were looking for some recruiting help. And I'm gonna go back to the automation just because that's been huge for me, because I wasn't doing it before. Um, I think you showed me a video tool that I'm using to where now I'm sending out custom videos to clients. That's been huge. Like, I've gotten great response on that.
Yep.
The time management thing was good because you're 100% correct on all the time management stuff that you talk about. That still is sort of like the next frontier for me. Like, I can get better on time management, but some of the tactics or, that you taught with that's been huge. To be totally transparent, I've talked with a few other coaches. I've actually hired people on, shorter stints. And a lot of times what I got was they kind of like had a template or a program, and they would just kind of force feed what they knew. And with yours, I mean, you definitely have things that work for everybody, but you kind of tailor it to each person and you really meet them where they're at, and, you've got lots of people that are in the program, but you always made a point to make sure that you answered everybody's questions. If ever I had any questions like outside of the program when I was doing some of the work, you always got back to me. I mean, I don't think there was any time that you didn't get back to me, typically like within the same day. I think there was the one time where, I think I was having trouble with one of the automation tools, and I think what I'm talking. Like, I kind of screwed that pretty bad, and so I needed some serious hand holding to kind of unravel this mess that I made. And you jump on a call and share screens. I think you even logged into the system to kind of help me troubleshoot it. And so, you're super, super hands on. And there was never a point where I felt like, because you can get behind if you don't stay up on this stuff.
Yeah.
I always felt like you were kind of there just riding shotgun to help out with any point of the program. And, you're really good about kind of giving a nudge when people, or like when I would fall behind a little bit, but then at the same time, giving people breathing room if it's taking a little bit of time to catch up, or they need to spend a little bit more time in one aspect. So very personalized, very tailored, not at all a one size fits all. And that's what I appreciated about it. Being in the program, like all the networking that I've been able to do with some of the other people in the group, I mean, that's been super, super valuable. I mean, I stay in contact with, people that are, in the program right now and people that are done. that's been huge for me. I love seeing what other people are doing and like the content, the videos that they're putting out. I mean, like I'm rooting for them. That's been really good. Just sort of the community and the access that I have to other people that are in the industry. I mean, I got people that are reaching out to me, asking me like, hey, how do you, I know that you do contract. How do we even set that up? And so it's given me an opportunity to give back to other people that want to learn from me. And then, it's given me access to other people that I didn't know otherwise that were out there. So that's been great.
I mean, what would you say to somebody who's thinking about, working with me and joining the Relevant Recruiter program?
Just do it. Don't wait like I did. If you're even thinking about it, like, just reach out. I mean, Donnie's not going to like, when you're ready, but he's not going to be pushy or anything like that. I would say just, reach out and, hear what he has to say. It's, like, I mean, like the recommendation I wrote for you, it's like one of the best decisions I've ever made. And I wish it started sooner.
I appreciate that, man.
Really gave me more of like an abundant, open mind when it came to just being curious about what was happening in the market. And it just kind of helps you operate at a different tempo. And so, yeah, that's what I'd say about that.
Love it. If you guys want to experience some of the things that he's experienced, if you've been watching me for a while, sitting on the fence, send me a direct message and we can talk about the same marketing system, business development system that we put together for Aaron. Put that together for you and your business right now. So send me a direct message, drop a comment. We can set up a meeting, just like Aaron said. Pretty easy meeting, pretty easy step to take from here.